This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Skyrim Remake is coming this year and it looks absolutely unreal and not at all like Skyrim. So I'm sure most of you have already gathered this isn't by the hands of Bethesda Game Studios. Rather, it's thanks to the entire Skyrim mod author community and the creator of a mod list that brings over 2,000 mods together from hundreds of fantastic mod authors into one exceptionally intricate and heavily modded package, all to bewilder you with a Skyrim like you've never seen or played before. This is NOLVUS v6 by Vector. What you're looking at right now is very early gameplay of NOLVUS v6, which is the in-progress 2024 iteration of the very popular NOLVUS mod list for Skyrim, which is releasing later this year. The same mod list I've been sporting in my last few Skyrim videos, that actually being NOLVUS v5, which a lot of you had plenty of questions about. And NOLVUS v6 is that mod list taken to a whole nother level. With a refresh mod list that upgrades visuals, animations, quest mods, and gameplay mechanics over the previous versions, transforming Skyrim into what I would say could even pass as a current-gen game, which is both a compliment to the mod list creator Vector and all of those that help him, but most importantly, the many mod authors who make this kind of mod list possible with their fantastic work shared with the community. Now, what makes NOLVUS v6 so exciting over NOLVUS v5 is the clear visual improvements. And not just the subjective kind, as everything from the meshes, textures, lighting, world changes, and standard ENB choices are all leaps beyond the current, with v6 bringing a wide range of new mods and replacing old ones, such as Northern Roads, fully patched for this mod list. Some of you might understand just how large of an achievement that is on its own. The Vivid Landscapes Complex Parallax series, Skirk Bros Retexture Project All-in-One, Water for ENB, Untarnished UI, which is a complete UI overhaul and one of my personal favorites, mashups of 7 different tree mods, 6 different grass mods, and the custom NOLVUS exclusive tree add-on, a selection between Cabbage ENB, Peacho ENB, and Cause ENB, new city overhauls including JK's Whiterun Outskirt Market, Whiterun Has Walls, GG Improve Whiterun, and Spaghetti Cities, which are all fully patched together and custom patched for one of the most exciting and game-changing inclusions with this next iteration of NOLVUS, that being SR Exterior Cities, bringing fully patched and integrated Open Cities functionality to NOLVUS v6 alongside its many mixed and matched city overhauls. And 2 other noteworthy additions mentioned by Vector are camera noise, which adds minor camera shake like seen in games like God of War. It's a minor addition, but a feature I personally adore. And then, oddly enough, Dragonborn voiceover, which is a great mod and framework itself, but is only currently really used for AI voice packs. So if you want to play NOLVUS as Kratos, Geralt, or Ciri, then you'll have that option. And again, this is only a handful of the thousands of mods included in NOLVUS. It includes a ridiculous amount of graphics mods, gameplay mods, quest mods, weapon and armor mods, really just all of the mods. And it's something the vast majority of people will only ever be able to achieve with the mod list like this, as it takes an unbelievable amount of time to get a mod list of this scale and complexity working, let alone polished. And Vector isn't exactly doing himself any favors with some of the mod selections here, as while Northern Roads and SR Exterior Cities are fantastic and highly desired mods, they are a pain when it comes to compatibility, so this makes for a very unique experience. And while a lot of v6 gameplay is showcased in this video, if you're wanting to watch the uncut gameplay and showcases that are less butchered by the YouTube compression, they will all be linked down in the description, including gameplay of the forest regions, Riverwood, Whiterun, Riften, Solitude, and the performance test and ENB comparisons, all of which come from Vector's personal YouTube channel, which I suggest you subscribe if you want to see some of the frequent updates that he posts there. But NOLVUS is popular for more than just its looks and feel, just like today's sponsor, War Thunder, a highly detailed vehicle combat game available for free on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation that lets you take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships modeled down to their individual components and authentic sound effects, immersing you in epic PvP battles alongside over 70 million players. And if you play War Thunder for free on PC or console by using my link below, both new and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack, including premium vehicles, the exclusive Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium. But only for a limited time, so go play War Thunder by using my link below. And thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Now back to NOLVUS, which, as I was saying, is popular for more than just its looks and feel, as it is what I would say best in class when it comes to Modlist installation and stability. It doesn't use Wabbajack, doesn't use Vortex collections, as it actually has its very own auto installer, which holds your hand through the setup and installation process, giving you a number of preference and performance options to choose from, and even does a number of steps for you that you would normally have to do manually, such as downgrading your game to 1.5.97. And that's using Vector's own downgrader. But it's all automatic. It is literally a auto installer. And to make this even better, it has extremely in-depth documentation for the installation process, the mods included, configuration options, and troubleshooting if you run into any issues. So despite being one of the biggest and most complex mod lists out there, it's also one of the easiest to get up and running, which is exactly what people want from a mod list. It's meant to do the work for you and make the process as pain-free as possible, but also give you a good and stable modded game. And from my experience, this is exactly what NOLVUS offers, as it's even very easy to maintain, as you won't ever have to deal with Steam auto updates breaking your game, as it actually uses a stock game folder with Mod Organizer 2, which, to put simply, means that your NOLVUS Skyrim install is out of Steam's reach, no worrying about Steam settings, deleting manifest files, or using offline mode. And the auto installer allows you to update the mod list without having to re-download the entire list from scratch again. And the added bonus, Vector seems to actually care about optimization, despite being a graphically intensive mod list. Not only being transparent with the performance test, where he showcased himself getting above 60 FPS in Riverwood using NOLVUS's Ultra preset and maxed out parallax at 1440p with DLAA using an RTX 3090 while recording, which he says should equate to about a 3080 Ti. And this is undoubtedly in part to him putting in some extra effort when it comes to a mod list, such as dealing with the occlusion and collision panes, which are a big performance saver if done right, ensuring things out of view aren't being rendered needlessly. And this was likely essential for the overhauled Open City environments, as I can't imagine how they would run without this. And as alluded to earlier, the installer also gives you several options to tune performance for your rig, including downscaling options, mod performance presets, anti-aliasing options, INI settings presets, an advanced physics toggle, LOD quality options, a ray tracing toggle, an option to install SSE FPS stabilizer, and several other options relating to general preferences of NOLVUS. So it's really the all-in-one package when it comes to mod lists. It's going for visuals, it's going for gameplay, it's going for customization, and it's striving for performance. But there are some things to note about NOLVUS and V6 in particular that you want to keep in mind. First being the requirements. As despite all Vector's work on optimization, there's only so much that can be done as this mod list is pushing Skyrim to its limits. So there are going to be hardware requirements for the optimal experience, and an SSD is pretty much required if you don't want to have any major hitching issues, and that's due to the amount of asset loading. It's also going to require well over 300 gigabytes of SSD storage, and that is actually NOLVUS V5's requirements, so V6 could be even higher than that. And Nexus Premium is a requirement for the auto installer to be able to download everything automatically and at uncapped speeds, at least for the month that you're going to be doing the installation. That's not to be said that you can't install NOLVUS without Nexus Premium, but you'll have to manually start each and every mod download, and you'll be capped at 3 megabytes per second, which is not exactly ideal for such a large mod list. And another big thing to note, this mod list, NOLVUS, is entirely free. It is not locked behind a Patreon paywall, as some have gotten confused. It is free for anyone to use via the NOLVUS website. And the same will go for V6 when it releases later this year. The only suggested payment is for Nexus Premium, which has, again, nothing to do with Vector. So the NOLVUS Patreon is simply to support Vector's work if you want to and gain some community benefits, just as you can do with my channel via channel memberships, for example. It is purely optional. But the real question is, should you actually use NOLVUS? And this really just boils down to a few things. Do you like the look and feel of NOLVUS? Are you going to be okay that you can't really add or remove mods from the list? And are you wanting a super heavily modded Skyrim without the work that goes into setting it up? If the answer to all of those are yes, then I think it's an obvious choice. But if you're like me, and the thing you like about modding is tinkering with things yourself and getting it just the way you like with your own personal selection of mods, and you're okay maybe never actually playing your modded game as you end up modding for more than you play, I don't think NOLVUS, or any mod list for that matter, is going to be for you. Mod lists are great if you're someone who likes a given mod list and are fine giving up the flexibility component of modding. But if you're very picky when it comes to mods, then you're probably going to end up bothered when you either run into mods you don't like, or when you yearn for mods you wish were included in the mod list. But there are a few reasons why I like playing NOLVUS, despite me being one of those people. As well, I use it primarily for background footage and videos, thanks to it being a lot easier than trying to get my constantly changing mod list into a presentable state. It's also nice being able to just play the game instead of infinitely modding if I just need to scratch the Skyrim playthrough itch. And lastly, it's also a very unique experience playing a mod list with over 2,000 mods, many of which I know little to nothing about, as it's honestly like playing a new game, constantly running into new content, areas, and mechanics that I'm not at all familiar with. Which makes for a truly unique Skyrim and modding experience that you can't really get when you're hand selecting everything yourself. So that is why I find NOLVUS V6 quite exciting, as it looks to improve everything in V5 and will once again offer a dramatically new Skyrim experience with essentially one click. And once NOLVUS V6 drops later this year, I'll be sure to cover it with a review, showcase, and tutorial. But in the meantime, if any noteworthy news drops for it, I'll do my best to keep you all up to date in between my many other ambitious plans for 2024. And I'd also love to know your thoughts on both NOLVUS V5, which is out already. Have you tried it? Do you enjoy it? And what are your thoughts on what we've seen from NOLVUS V6 so far? As I think it looks pretty unreal. And before we go, another thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to go play it for free on PC or console using my link below, as any new or returning players that haven't played in 6 months will receive a massive bonus pack, including multiple premium vehicles and other goodies. But it's only available for a limited time, so make sure not to miss it. And if you'd like something else to watch while you wait patiently for my next video, I suggest checking out my video covering some very exciting upcoming content for Fallout, or my 2024 modding tutorial playlist, which will be updated throughout this year. But that's it for this video. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, this is Apoqsi, signing off.